Discuss about the soft capex flurry, how much of it is really a reality and what really is India Inc. actually witnessing on ground. So let me first welcome on board Manish Bhatnagar, the MD at SKF India, and kickstart discussion with him. Manish, hi, good morning. Good to have you on the show. Manish, like my colleague was just highlighting, capex slowed down in FY21 because of the pandemic. Do you sense that now there is a big revival which is currently underway? What is your own reading of how the on-ground situation is really panning out?
Yeah, so SKF, thank you first of all for inviting me here. But SKF has businesses in the industrial space and the automotive space, and it's 50-50. On the automotive side, we've seen an extremely strong recovery on two-wheelers and agricultural linked, so things like tractors, etc. We have not yet seen the recovery in commercial vehicles, which we think is still about 2 years away. And those issues, of course, go back to before this crisis with the axle load norms, etc., which predate going back almost 18, 24 months. On the industrial side, we have seen recovery a bit muted, if I may say so, compared to automotive, but picking up steam. Everything linked to infrastructure, so steel, cement, construction equipment, etc., has seen a stronger recovery. The others have lagged behind, but we expect that to pick up in the next few months.
Is it largely the rural end of the market, Manish, which is actually leading this recovery? And do you sense that for the next foreseeable future as well, this is going to continue to be the trend?
We've had a very strong farm produce. The crops have done very well. The monsoon has been strong. So certainly the rural economy is firing on all cylinders. On the automotive side, we've seen pickup in demand for two-wheelers. Again, the lower CC commuter two-wheelers on the rural side. We have not seen a pickup as yet on the higher CC two-wheelers, which are predominantly urban-based. And of course, tractors are very, very strong. So yes, I would agree that on the automotive side, it's rural related. On the industrial side, it's on the back of significant infrastructure investments by the government. So, new roads, ports, etc., all those have a multiplier effect on the economy. And we're seeing that on the industrial side, which is rural and urban.
Okay, fair enough. Manish, are you also, if we take a look at railways, for instance, they continue to be a large opportunity led by a thrust on freight bearings in particular. What's the potential of growth via that route, via focusing on the rail segment?
That's a good question. Railways is an interesting phenomenon. We are possibly the only large country of its size where we do not use the railways as a good freight mover. Our logistics costs are about 14% of GDP, which is about double what it is in other comparable countries. And the reason for that is almost 65% of our freight goes by road. It should go by train and it should go by sea. And now we are seeing investments in the so-called DFC, the dedicated freight corridors. Two of those corridors are set to go live very, very soon. Those contracts have been awarded. So as those freight corridors start going live and we start seeing more freight movement via train, number one, our freight costs, therefore our logistics costs will go down. And that's good news for the economy all around. And certainly for SKF, we are a strong player in the freight business. We want to be stronger, of course. And you rightly said, freight bearings used on freight wagons are margin accretive to us. So we hope to see some good news there.
Great. Given that nearly 35% of industrial bearings are sourced locally, and of that 90% in fact is from SKF, do you see increased localization for industrials in the long run?
Well, not just in the long run, I think in the short and the medium run. So again, to put the numbers in perspective, 50% of our business is industrial, And you're right, 35% is local. So we need to increase that to at least 60, 70%. And the problem with industrial is, unlike automotive, industrial's bearings are fairly small volume. When I say small volume compared to automotive. So these could be sometimes as small as 5,000 bearings a year, a good example being the railways, or even if it's 100,000 a year, it's nowhere close to the volumes of automotive for reasons we can understand. Industrials cut across many, many segments. So yes, in the short to medium term, our big investment, our big CAPEX will be focused on increasing localization for industrial bearings. We do want to get that business up to at least 70% localization for cost reasons, of course, but also more importantly for meeting customer needs. Customers really don't want to wait for 4 weeks or 2 months to get a bearing. They would much rather have it manufactured in Pune or Bangalore and be shipped to them as soon as possible, like we do with automotive bearings. So that is certainly a big focus for our investments in the next few months.
Okay, fair enough. Mr. Bhatnagar, good morning. You also plan to further the brownfield and greenfield investments. So how much has the PLI scheme aided this? What is the outlook on your expansion plans?
Yeah, the PLI scheme is still very new, so we're still reading the fine print on that PLI scheme. But I think it's more than just the PLI. I don't think our investments are based on one scheme of the government. Our investments are really based on the broader theme around ease of doing business. So PLI is one part of it. This could be infrastructure. So, how do goods move from point A to point B? Are we allowed to import things? What duty do we pay, et cetera, et cetera? So it's a combination of many, many things here. SKF has been Atmanirbhar in India for over 60 years. We have 6 factories in India, and you're right, brownfield and greenfield projects are on the anvil. We hope to make those announcements very, very soon. So we've seen good progress in terms of investment climate in the country. Certainly some states are further ahead than other states. We are today present in Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Uttarakhand. And we're certainly looking at investments in these states, and we're talking to a few other states to see what we can do there. But stay tuned. We will make some announcements pretty quickly.
Yeah, we certainly hope for that. And just to garner a little more perspective, what levels are the factories now operating at? And you are seeing that sense of a distinct pickup in the overall investment cycle or CAPEX cycle that can fuel and propel your growth further?
Yeah, we're seeing a big pickup, and we remain very bullish across our business lines. Of course, we remain more bullish on some segments and less on some, but that's part of the diversification that we do. Our factories today are operating full capacity. We're running 3 shifts at all our factories, 7 days a week. And I've said this earlier, unfortunately, we still have to turn down some orders. It's not a pretty place for us to be in, but we have to prioritize sometimes. We certainly hope with these new investments coming online, we should be able to fulfill all the demand that we are foreseeing in this country. And again, this is short term, medium term. It's as quickly as a few quarters from now.
Manish, great to get in your perspective. Thank you so much for taking the time out and helping us understand how the industry as well as SKF India in particular is shaping up.
Thank you.